Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 12th Horseshoe Podcast live on Surge Sports TV and the 12th Horseshoe Podcast YouTube channel, presented by Proven Italian American Deli in Moonachie, New Jersey, alongside my partner Eli Weintraub. Jack Rizzo here with you today. It is a cold, rainy night outside, but inside we are nice and warm and comfy as we get set for our Week 12 picks of the 2024 NFL season. Eli, great to be with you today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great and can't wait to talk some football here.
Oh, me too, Eli. It's a big week in the NFL season. Playoff implications, huge at this point. Now, before we get to our Week 12 picks, Eli, let's first break down the game that happened last night. It was the Blizzard Bowl in Cleveland, Ohio, the first NFL game, to my knowledge, to have any type of snow this year. Second half, it was all white on the field, and it ended up being a victory for the Cleveland Browns. They defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-19, snapping the Steelers' 5-game winning streak, Eli. So the Browns have been an interesting team this year, Eli, because they've only won 3 games, but 2 of those wins are against the Ravens and the Steelers. Now, we both got the pick wrong, Eli. You had this for your survivor, but listen, did the Steelers lose? Yes. Am I surprised? Honestly, no, because it's the AFC North. Anything can happen in these games, and this feels very Steelers-like, Eli, winning a big game and then losing a very winnable game 4 days later. But what are your overall thoughts on this game?
Well, although I picked the Steelers and had them for my survivor, what was the one thing I said? Watch out for that game and look at that spread. Because if we saw the spread, Pittsburgh entered that game only 3.5 favorite. That's kind of strange considering Pittsburgh is that team. And this was before any weather announcement and everything else. So I noticed right there from the start that it was going to be a risky game to begin with. Then the snow played a factor. And then Cleveland just played good football. And you got to look at this Cleveland team. They just beat 2 of their top division opponents, the Ravens and the Steelers. So now when they play the Bengals, when they take on the Ravens and Steelers again, are we going to see another win for the Browns because they're good at these divisional games? It's crazy to think about, but they can't win a regular game, but they can go in there and take care of their division opponent like nothing. It really makes no sense to me, but that's just how this game and how this team really is playing. I mean, they can do that. But other than that, big win for the Browns, and shout out to both teams for surviving in the snow.
Yeah, interesting game. I was very surprised there were no injuries really in the snow. Well, speaking of the AFC North, Eli, we had some news today in the NFL of the first ever Thursday Night Football flex in the NFL. Now, this game is not taking place till Week 16, but today was the deadline to flex it, and we officially got one. So now it was supposed to be the Browns at the Bengals in Week 16 on Thursday night in December. That has been flexed out, and it will be replaced, Eli, by the Broncos taking on the Chargers. That's going to be a great game, Eli. It's going to be huge for the wild card. Hey, the Chargers are only 2 games out of the division, so it could be for a big division game too. And there's a lot of possibilities, Eli. I mean, we're still 4 weeks away from Week 16. Anything can happen over these next 4 weeks, Eli. But I'm just curious, 100%. Do you think this game was worthy of being flexed into prime time?
I don't think so. I think it was good the way it was. Listen, I'm not a big fan of the Bengals, of the way, that they keep on losing. I mean, no Joe Burrow or anything like that. Already starting. We even get through the first 3 minutes of the show and he's already starting. What a surprise.
We're 4 minutes in the show, Eli.
Minus the 1 minute intro video, please. 3 minutes in and we're already starting. Okay. I'm sick of seeing the Bengals always lose every week. And it's not because of Joe Burrow. Okay? We know that. All right, we clarified that. But
let's get him out of prime time then. That's why I'm excited about this.
At the same time, though, the Browns have just beat 2 of their division opponents. And who's in the division? The Cincinnati Bengals. So I think that should have been a winnable game for the Browns and another win on prime time. But at the same time, you got to look at this Broncos-Chargers game. They're not winning the division. We know that. So,
yes, Eli, but do we really want to see a 3-8 team and a 4? The Browns Bengals? I think both teams will probably be eliminated.
Broncos Chargers might be an okay game too. I don't see it being.
It'll be better.
It depends on how many wins they get until then, and if they have a shot at still making the playoffs. That's what's going to come down to, and that will determine if that game is going to be good or not.
Well, Eli, I'm just glad we don't have to see a 3-8 team versus a 4-7 team prime time. So thank you, NFL, for flexing that out.
Well, let's see if it was the right choice or if they should have did a different game. But yeah,
that's fair. It'll be better though. The Browns and Bengals, they go both.
It should be better
at that point. Yeah, it will be better. I'm confident in that. Let's get to our Week 12 picks now.
Daniel Jones gets released.
Yeah, I was just talking about that when we got to the Giants, but yeah, we can talk about it now. Yeah, as Eli just mentioned, Daniel Jones was released by the Giants earlier today.
He's going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
He had requested to be released, Daniel Jones, and the Giants.
That's what I'm believing.
Granted him, yeah. So as Eli just said, obviously we'll see what happens now. Honestly, though, I mean, Daniel Jones is getting paid $40 million. He should just sit at home and enjoy the season and just rake in the cash. That's what I would do. But
I mean, if you look at teams that are desperate for a quarterback right now, well, San Francisco obviously we just announced this morning, this afternoon, that Brock Purdy will not play, so he's gonna be out for some injury. You got to look from the Dallas Cowboys perspective. Dak Prescott is not going to return this year. Their backup quarterback has not done very good at all. And if they do lose to the Commanders this weekend, then I think the Cowboys should pick up Daniel Jones and have Cutlets versus Tommy DeVito Cutlets versus Daniel Jones Thanksgiving Day. How epic would that be? I mean, am I crazy enough, or do you think that would be an epic Thanksgiving to watch?
Oh my God. Thanksgiving football is going to be a disaster this year.
It is a disaster this year. But I think if they were to make that move, it becomes exciting again. It goes to show then whose job is on the line. Is it going to be Brian Dable, or is Daniel Jones that guy?
I'm gonna be I'll be eating extra turkey on Thanksgiving this year, so I don't have to watch that game.
Okay.
Either way.
But like I said, I would love to see it happen.
If the Cowboys lose to the Commanders, might have been the most wild thing Eli has said. Oh, Jason's starting to beef with you, Eli.
Number one, I just want to point out this. I always have to use the word if because anything is possible. Although our picks may not say the Cowboys win, but still, we need to just point out we have to use the word if. This is a sports program. We need to use the word if. We're not going to say, oh, they already lost. That is not how the show works. We use the word if.
That's a good point. All right. Well, with that being said, let's get to our Week 12 picks. There are a lot of teams are on bye this week. This is tied with Week 14 for the most teams on a bye week this season. Teams on a bye this week are the Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Jaguars, Saints, and Jets.
Yay! No Aaron Rodgers. Hallelujah.
Yeah. No Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jack. But not seeing Aaron Rodgers might be the best thing that we're going to be seeing on TV for a while.
Because I think no Falcons, no Bengals, no Jaguars, no Saints. This is amazing. I don't have to watch any of these trash teams play.
We still get trash games. Nothing's good till after the 4 o'clock window this weekend.
I know. Oh, we're gonna have to sit through this, but it's all right. Let's get it started.
I'm free. I gotta watch all these boring games.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, Eli. It's your choice.
What else is on TV? Cash Cab on Game Show Network?
I don't know. Go. I don't know. Go take a walk or something.
You take a walk.
What?
You take a walk.
No, I'm all right because
okay.
My team.
Let's get to the games. We don't have the lines cold.
Because my team's actually on at 1 o'clock, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. They're taking on the Detroit Lions. Battle of the Midwest. 1 p.m. on Fox. Detroit is a 7.5 point favorite here. Detroit, hottest team in the NFL. They've won 8 straight, coming off a win over the Jaguars. Eli. The Colts got a win though last week, and Anthony Richardson certainly looked much more confident. Eli. So it should be an interesting one. The Colts know how to stay in these games for whatever reason. It's not going to change the outcome, though, Eli. I think it'll be closer than some people might think. I mean, I'm still taking the Lions by multiple possessions, but I think some people are expecting the Lions to win by like 30 points or something like that. That's not going to happen. Lions will win, though. I think they'll win 38-24. I think Anthony Richardson will have some other good performances, Eli, but the Colts defense is not stopping all these weapons the Lions have. You got Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, and Jared Goff, and probably the league's best offensive line. So easy one for me, Eli. Lions win, even though I think the Colts will play decently well for their expectations.
The Colts will play well because that's just how the Colts are. But I'm going to take the Lions for my lock of the week, 35-26. I think it's a high-scoring game. And watch out for the Colts because, like I said, they're going to play, I think, a good game, despite what we think.
All right, well, it seems like we're on the same page with that one. Next up, AFC South battle. Titans taking on the Texans, 1 p.m. on CBS. Houston coming off that big win on Monday night over the Cowboys. Tennessee really struggling. Their only 2 wins are against the Dolphins without Tua and the Patriots. It's been a rough season in Tennessee. All those acquisitions they had in the offseason haven't really panned out. Will Levis struggling. But to be fair, Eli, the Texans have also been struggling somewhat to win these games. Their offensive line has been a disaster. And CJ Stroud definitely had a down season, worse than he was last year.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, Eli, the Texans defense is playing very, very well. They have bailed out this Houston offense a lot this season, Eli. I think Nico Collins being back is going to help. I think he'll get more targets this week. I'm going to take the Texans here, Eli, 27-13 in Houston, and I'm going to make it my lock of the week. So give me the Texans.
I'm going to take the Texans in the victory, 28-21. I think they're going to get the victory here, but don't be surprised if the Titans trying to keep it close because we've seen that a lot lately.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Here's a comment from Kurt. Bo Nix, FYI, Butler in trouble. Broncos, playoffs bound. Let's go.
Butler in trouble. Okay, so I guess Cedar Grove is playing well so far.
No, so happy 50th, by the way, Kurt.
Yes, happy 50th birthday to our friend Kurt Valenti. Cheers to 50 more, my friend. Thank you for having us on high school sports throughout the season. We are very much grateful for you, Kurt. And hopefully Butler will come back a little bit. Hopefully Coach Luciani doesn't ruin your 50th birthday. What do you say?
I hope he gives you a good Christmas gift and a win.
I hope so. And same with Coach Breslin. Hopefully Ramapo wins, even though Eli took Phillipsburg. But whatever.
Let's every time.
Yep. Eli wants the potato chips. Next up, AFC.
Every time I pick against them, Jack, they win.
That's true. So same with
knock
Jen.
on wood. Happens again. Let's hope.
Absolutely, Eli. Next up, 1 p.m. on CBS. Another divisional game. A lot of divisional games this week, Eli. Actually, yeah. I believe there are 4 divisional games in the 1 o'clock window. This one coming in the AFC East. Dolphins hosting the Patriots down in South Florida. Miami touchdown favorite. A lot of big favorites this week, Eli. Miami's won back-to-back games coming off a win over the Raiders. Seems like that offense starting to look like the offense from last year. And the Miami defense has actually played very well this season, Eli. So with that being said, I like the way Drake May's been playing, Eli, but the Patriots just don't win in Miami. They just don't. So Dolphins win 30-15 here in this one, and that is going to be my survivor pick for Week 12. How about you?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Dolphins of the victory here, 22-18. Again, I believe this is going to be a close game. Could be risky because we've seen Miami struggle a little bit this year. So I will not be surprised it becomes a close game and the Patriots are in it. But I'm going to take the Dolphins, though, in the victory.
All right, sounds good. Next up, Cowboys taking on the Commanders in Washington, 1 p.m. on Fox. Washington favored by 10.5. That's the second biggest spread this week, Eli. And yeah, there's really no doubt here this one. The Commanders have lost back-to-back games. It's time for them to get back on track, get back in that NFC East hunt. Give me Washington here, Eli. High-scoring game, 38-20, because Marshawn Lattimore is out this week for Washington. So I think CeeDee Lamb will have a pretty good game. He'll get in the end zone, maybe more than once, and that'll allow the Cowboys to get some points, Eli. But the Cowboys' defense has been atrocious this year. They're not stopping Jaden Daniels. So Commanders win relatively easily, 38-20.
Give me the Commanders 28-9. I don't see much from that offense, so give me 28-9 Commanders.
I like it, Eli. Next up, Vikings at the Bears, 1 p.m. on Fox. Minnesota, 3.5-point favorites. Big game in the NFC North, Eli. The Vikings, 8-2, but they've been struggling a little bit, even though they're on a 3-game winning streak. Their offense hasn't really played well. Defense has obviously played well. And the Bears defense has had a really good season, Eli, but I just don't think the Bears offense is capable of scoring enough points to win this game, Eli. This is going to be a defensive battle, and I have the Vikings winning it 16-9. I think a touchdown by, let's go with Jalen Naylor scoring the only touchdown in this game, and the Vikings will win 16-9.
I know I wrote something down, Jack. I think I'm going to change it.
Really?
Give me the Bears, 24-15. I'm going to change that on the spreadsheet. Here's my reason why. I just looked at the spread, 3.5. No good to me. Doesn't seem right. Vikings are the better team. They look good. But something tells me the Bears are going to win. I might regret this, but I'm going to take the Bears 24-15. I'm going to change that pick online right now. But I know I wrote something down, but I'm going to change it. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I am. Pick change.
I just never pick the Bears because they always lose every time I pick them. So I just pick against them every week because I hate them. I hate picking Bears games because I always get them wrong.
The thing is, again, I looked at that spread. That was weird. That spread. Something tells me it does not look right. Give me the Bears. It's the weirdest pick I've ever made. Give me the Bears.
All right. Well,
I can't believe I did that.
Well, right, Eli, you have an option if you want to make that your upset of the week since the Vikings are the favorite. If you want to go ahead and make that your upset, or you're gonna change it, it's up to you.
We're gonna leave it.
Okay.
No change.
All right, no problem.
So, pick, no upset there.
All right, so that's our first disagreement. Eli has the Vikings, or I have the Vikings. You have the Bears. Yeah. Next up, Eli, the Buccaneers taking on the New York Giants. 1 p.m. on CBS. Tommy DeVito will be making his first start of the season, Eli. With all due respect, and because the vibes are on the Giants side, Eli, I'm not picking vibes. I'm picking actual football performance. Baker Mayfield, the Bucs had the bye. They just had their bye week. They're going to get it right. They were in a similar spot last year. They were 4-7 at this time last year, and they nearly made it to the NFC title game. They have an easy schedule the rest of the way, Eli, and the Bucs run to winning the NFC South starts this week. That's right. I think the Bucs will win this division. Sorry, Falcons. You're just not good enough, in my opinion. So Bucs win this week, Eli, 24-10. I think Baker Mayfield has a big game. I think Mike Evans has a big game. I think Tampa Bay's defense gets a lot of pressure on that horrible Giants O-line, so give me the Bucs here.
It really will determine if Brian Dable's job is at danger and in jeopardy after this game, knowing that they switch quarterbacks and everything. So it's a big test, but I'm going to take the Buccaneers 21-12, and they're going to be serving chicken cutlets in that arena.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. Next up, Chiefs at the Panthers on CBS at 1 p.m. No, this is the national game this week for CBS. No, Tony Romo this week. No, I don't know, Jim. No, we don't have to hear that this week. Thank goodness.
The reason why is because they're going to be having a doubleheader next week with Thanksgiving and a Sunday game, so they wanted to give them a week off.
Yep, that's a good point, Eli. Kansas City favored by 11 here on the road. Oof. Or I don't really know if they're on the road. There's going to be a lot of Chief fans there, Eli. And you know what, Eli? I'm taking the Chiefs here. Like, listen, Bryce said the Panthers are on a 2-game win streak. Who would have thought coming into this game, Eli, the Panthers would be on a 2-game winning streak and the Chiefs would actually be on a 1-game losing streak? I don't think anyone would have thought that, Eli, but Bryce Young will just not be able to do anything against this Kansas City defense. I mean, this Kansas City defense has contained some of the best QBs in the league, like Lamar Jackson and many others. Brock Purdy, they're going to have no problem containing Bryce Young, Eli. So Chiefs win 22-6 is the final. So give me the Chiefs there.
Listen, if the Panthers win, that'll be insane. The biggest win,
yes,
I think.
Would.
That would be the biggest win, I think, in franchise history.
Not franchise history, but this season, yes.
In the past couple years, yes.
Past couple years, yes. I'll get with you, but not. Okay. The Panthers have been to multiple Super Bowls. I can't say franchise history.
Well, I mean, in this time period, I guess I'll.
Yes, in this time period, yeah. They're a disaster. Yeah, it would be.
But you know what? Something. I am not going against Patrick Mahomes. Give me the CHIEFS Chiefs 24-20.
Now here's a guy. Bryce Young is a quarterback who plays like Patrick Mahomes. Well, Chris Collinsworth is not calling this. Chris Collinsworth is not calling this game. So you don't have to hear that.
If they win, I want them flex to a Sunday Night Football game.
Next up, Kurt, if you're still here, you're going to like this one. Broncos at the Raiders, 4:05 on CBS, Eli. The Broncos beat the Raiders in week 5, and I'm not going to spend too much time here. The Broncos are 5.5-point favorites. They're going to beat the Raiders once again. Give me the Denver Broncos, 25-16 in the victory here.
Very simple here. Give me the Denver Broncos, 25-15.
I like it, Eli. Next up, the national game on Fox this week, although I don't really know if it should be. 49ers at the Packers on Fox at 4:25 up in Lambeau. No Brock Purdy, no Nick Bosa this week. The spread changed by 3 just because of that. Now Green Bay nearly a touchdown favorite, Eli. There's no doubt here, Eli. The Packers are winning this game. I'm going to say 28-26. They get the victory here. Even though that's actually the score I had before, but I'm not changing it because the Packers are sometimes they like to keep games close. I'll use your line, Eli. They're a little wishy-washy sometimes. So I'm going to stick with the Packers here, especially at home in Lambeau. I mean, listen, they're not losing to Brandon Allen. There's no way they lose to Brandon Allen. the 49ers starting quarterback. They're not losing to Arkansas Razorback Brandon Allen. So give me the Packers here in this one.
Give me the Packers in the victory here. 32-24. 32-24 Packers.
Good pick, Eli. Cardinals at Seahawks, 4:25 on Fox. Crazy enough, Eli, I don't think we would have been saying this before the season, but this game will determine who the front runner is in the NFC West going into Week 13.
Crazy to think about. This should be the America's game of the week. Just saying.
Oh, absolutely, it should be. And these two teams are going to play again in 2 weeks in Week 14. So the Seahawks and Cardinals play twice in the next 3 weeks. These games, Eli, could very well determine who wins the division. And this is a big game for the Cardinals, Eli, specifically because the Cardinals have already beaten the Rams and the 49ers. So if they beat the Seahawks, they will have the tiebreaker over all 3 teams in this division. So it's going to be close, Eli. Seattle's defense has played very well the last couple of weeks. Their defense has started to play better. But you know what, Eli? The Cardinals are coming off their bye week. They've had an extra week to prepare for this. I love what Kyler Murray's done this year. I love what the Cardinals Eli, listen to this stat. The Cardinals defense has not given up a touchdown in 3 of their last 4 games. I don't think anyone's talking about that. I don't think anyone realizes how good this Arizona Cardinals team has played these last couple of weeks, Eli. And they're just a well-balanced team, good offense, good defense, good coaching staff. I think they're going to get Marvin Harrison involved more this week. So the Cardinals will win here, Eli, but only by 1 point, 23-22. This could absolutely go either way. I would not be surprised at all if the Seahawks win this game. But I just like the Cardinals a little bit more right now. So Arizona will win this game and move into first place.
If it ain't the Seahawks, I don't know who it's going to be. My upset pick of the week, Seahawks, 26-23 in the Eli special.
It is the Eli special. Yep, the 12th straight week you've picked a game like that.
It's going to be the tradition.
Time for Sunday Night Football, Eli. And guess what? Another primetime game in SoFi Stadium. It feels like there's been so many primetime games in SoFi lately.
I don't want to see SoFi anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, well. The Eagles at the Rams, 8:20 on NBC.
Don't like the game.
These two teams played really well last year. Oh, of course, Eli. Of course, Eli doesn't like the game. He complains about every single primetime game. What else is new? Do you
think it's going to be a competitive game?
Yes, I do. Because you know what, Eli? Call me crazy. This is my upset pick of the week.
He's crazy. Give
me the Los Angeles Rams to win this game at home with Hall of Fame quarterback Matthew Stafford and Hall of Fame head coach Sean McVay. The Eagles are a great team. They've won 6 in a row. They are due to drop one at some point. They've gotten lucky. Eagles have gotten lucky the last few weeks, Eli. So give me the Los Angeles Rams 30-27, my upset pick of the week. And I feel good about this one, Eli. I am still high on this Rams team. I think there's still a chance they can win the division, Eli. So the Rams win this game 30-27.
Wow. That's all I could say. Just wow. No, give me Philadelphia Eagles 29-22.
Well, Eli just complains about he's going to complain about 49ers Bills next week on Sunday Night Football and say that's not going to be a good game.
It's not going to be a good game. No Brock Purdy?
It might not be now. Oh, but
think about it, Jack. Look at the injuries and look at Buffalo.
Eli's going to say
everybody healthy, it would have been a great game. Just saying.
Eli's going to say Packers at Lions in 2 weeks isn't going to be good.
It depends on the health. It really does.
No, well, guess what, Eli? No primetime games are good because that's just basically what you think at this point.
No, but I'm just saying. I don't know. To me, right now, Philadelphia's Rams are
Sorry, Eli, but
team.
I have not heard you once say this season that's going to be a great primetime game. You just find a way to complain about it.
Here we go. Here's going to be a great primetime game coming up. The Battle of the Hardballs.
Okay.
Ravens, Chargers, 8:15.
Well, Eli,
ABC,
let me
ESPN.
Yeah. Well, Eli did the intro for me. Thanks, Eli. Made my job easier. Ravens are 3-point favorites here. First game between the Harbaugh brothers since Super Bowl 47 when John defeated Jim down in NOLA. John's still with the Ravens, but Jim now is with the Chargers. And, well, Eli, I think a lot of people might be picking the Chargers here because the Ravens have been a little iffy the last couple weeks, but I'm still riding with John, Eli. Give me the Baltimore Ravens here, 28-21. I think Lamar Jackson has a big game on primetime. Lamar Jackson always performs on primetime, it feels like, especially on the road. And the Ravens are going to win this game, Eli. The Chargers are due for a loss. They've won 4 in a row. It's going to be a great game, though. I think it's going to be really close, but the Ravens will win this one in the Battle of the Harbaughs. So give me the Baltimore Ravens. Funny enough, Eli, this is the second straight year the Ravens are playing at the Chargers in Week 12 in prime time. Second straight year.
I love this game.
Finally, he likes a prime time game. Because
it's the Battle of the Harbaughs. Both these teams are decently good. It is anybody's game. I think we have a good Monday Night Football game. We're in for it. Give me the Ravens in a close one, 28-27. It's going to be an epic Monday night. Or just a Monday because it's played during the day at SoFi.
Well, whatever you want to say, Eli. Either way,
I will.
That is going to conclude our Week 12 picks.
By the way, I don't like the switcher, by the way, Jack.
Well, cry about it. Sorry.
Go Devils. Go Seahawks.
Let me do my outro, Eli. Then you could say your nasty stuff that you say at the end.
You wore it for the whole show. So.
Oh well. Either way, that is going to conclude our Week 12 picks for this week's edition of the 12th Horseshoe Podcast. Join Eli tomorrow morning on Sports with Mano Mano at 10 a.m. Join us next this coming Tuesday, November 26th at 7 p.m. for our Week 12 recap. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay dry. Jack Rizzo, Elijah
Go Seahawks, go Devils. Goodbye.
Saying so long. We'll see you on Tuesday. Go Colts.